Yeah.
So, last time on Night Shift, we had ourselves a little religious experience.
A little one.
This one does.
Yeah. Where the new temple, the new chapel to Feywill was created in the Outer Temple District. And also you all went some exploring. We're going to the center of the city, to the bigger Cathedral to Eula, but you ran into a Gith getting beat the fuck up by 2 Solar Legionnaires. Had a little experience with them. They were both killed, one by a horrific psychic attack from being blinded.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
And the other one had a dark knife thrown into them.
I wonder who threw it.
Yeah,
You
surely,
never know.
surely not Lotus's edgy goth sister.
It's fine, I love her already.
Anemone, darkness, dementia, raven way.
Good for her.
Good for her, yes. But you all ran into the house guard. It's the house guard of Lotus. Is it Somnium?
Somnium.
Yeah, the Somnium family. Jesus Christ. Family.
I feel you, you're good.
The Somnium family of one. Oh God, what was your uncle's name? Oh no, I'm blanking.
Let me double check.
I thought I had it written down.
I swear I have it written somewhere.
Hold on.
Aster?
Scrolling up in our DMs. Huh?
Is it Aster?
Yes, it's Aster.
Dr. Aster Somnium. Harsh potato, Jesus Christ.
Marsh Patel.
Marsh Patel.
Marsh Patel. Anyways, you
Yeah.
met your cousin, Razal, against Sarai, who is living with your uncle.
As a cousin usually does.
Yes, obviously. Sorry, I had my thoughts scattered. I'm really fucking hot. It is so goddamn hot here in Alabama.
Yeah, it got. There was a heat just jump, but
I
imagine it's horrible there.
I have this fucking tower fan in my room that I have maybe 3 feet away from me, and I am still boiling.
Maybe
Gross.
get out of the water then.
Hor. Alright,
And make yourself a swamp fan?
Oh man, I should do that. That worked great last time.
Yeah.
But technically my AC is on and I'm still burning up. I just had to go outside to check the Polaris. Anyways. So yeah, you got rescued. 2 of the guards had portable holes that they put these bodies into. And you are currently being escorted to the Somnium Manor.
Yeah.
And let's see. It's a little bit of ways, but not too much. However, I am going to...
I guess we're staying at the manor tonight? Unless they kick us out.
Unless they kick us out.
By the way, Hono, what's your massive passive again?
23 now.
Holy
wow.
shit, there is no way this motherfucker could hide from you. It does seem to be hiding from everyone else, though. As you guys are sort of...
Skin milk. Sorry, skin milk. It's getting me.
Oh no! That sounds like a fucking Drukari drink.
My brain actually thought that was correct. I'm like, why are you posting that? That's how that's said. And I'm like, hold on, there's an M. There's an M. It's supposed to be an M.
Sounds like the best beverage in Kamara.
Chicken nuggets.
Jesus. Anyways,
Yeah.
So, Hono, as you guys are walking, you see sort of skittering along the rooftops these strange bronze, not gold, but bronze, like polished, burnished bronze, mechanical spiders sort of peeking out and watching you guys.
That's...
When's that
Maybe
now?
they're friendly.
What you doing over there? Okay, I'm just gonna keep an eye on him for now.
Yeah. You can roll me a history check while you're sort of like... history or arcana while this is like going on, whichever's better.
Yeah, okay. I think you know what? I'll keep the proficiency in history. Alright. Well, I don't think I got pretty high, so that's a 13.
They seem really well crafted. Something seems a little off about them, but you're not quite sure what.
Aside from the fact they're bronze spiders, of course.
I mean, to be fair, like, I mean, constructs other than like Steelforge and other stuff are like a thing that exists. Like, it's not completely unknown.
I disagree. I don't believe in them.
Damn. I mean, I guess you can't prove that they do exist.
Yeah.
But
Nova's a real boy. Ono's a real boy too.
Supposedly, that's what he wants you guys.
Allegedly.
Allegedly doing a lot of legwork there.
Allegedly.
Anyways.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So. Oh, don't die.
Okay.
Don't die, friend.
Anyways, so you guys, it takes you a little bit to get there, but you eventually come to the Somnium Manor, and it's pretty well kept. Like, it's big, but you've seen bigger houses and manors in like the center city when you did like sort of visit earlier for like a nobleman on the council. This is relatively modest living. Like, there is a very beautiful greenhouse in the backyard and a observatory on like one of the towers. But other than that, it doesn't seem nearly as big as some of the other noble manors.
Yeah, I think Lotus is just rather quiet as he's being led.
As you're being led, before you guys get to the house, or the door to the manor, Rizal sort of turns to you, Lotus, and sort of puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "Listen, it's been a while since he saw your uncle, hasn't it?"
Lotus is going to sort of stroke the stubble on his chin and say, if by a while, you'd consider, literally being so young I can't remember ever meeting him, then yes, it has been a while.
She sort of blinks once, and then her nictating membranes blink again. And she's like, "Fair enough." She sort of bites her lip and says, "He's not been doing so well."
Oh, how do you mean?
She sort of grits, sort of like pulls a face and says, when your family left, apparently he wasn't already doing well. Apparently, you guys your father and mother left on bad terms with him, from what I recall.
Yeah.
And then my dad came along, and well, they had a relationship, but my dad died when I was really young, and he's been doing the best he could, but like it feels like he's sort of just losing.
Drowning his sorrows.
You can make a medicine check, by the way, Lotus, if you want. Since you're an astro...
19.
Oh, 19? I was going to say you get advantage, but with the 19, you got it. So, as an elf, especially an astral elf, you know that, like, elves are a little more... They're not, like, immune to diseases or sicknesses like a dwarf is, but they aren't as affected strongly by them as, like, a human would be. Mm-hmm. However, you know that, like, elves, especially astral elves, can literally die of a broken heart.
You cut out.
Oh, sorry. You would know that elves, especially astral elves, can literally die of a broken heart.
Oh. I think
they just sort of like grow weaker and weaker, and eventually just kind of fizzle out.
I think Lotus will put two and two together, and he'll just sort of quietly nod and say, "Well, hopefully seeing that not everyone is perished will lighten his spirits."
She's gonna nod and lead you in. And oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think he'll take a deep breath. Because again, like, this is a man that he hasn't seen since he was, too young to remember him, and remembers not, like he remembers his parents talking shit and being like, "Oh yeah, can you believe that guy straight up tried to take custody of our children and dared to call us unfit parents?" Like, this is a man that he has very much not heard anything nice about, but he at least has, like, the emotional maturity to realize, like, that he wasn't a bad person. So he's just sort of, I guess, curious about just the kind of person he is.
By the way, is Aster your father's brother or your mother's brother?
Mother's brother.
Mother's brother, okay. Just making sure. I thought so, I just wanted to check.
Yeah.
So, as you sort of go in, at the, like, entryway, you actually see, like, it's very hard to miss because it's, like, at the center is a portrait of your mother, Aster, and their parents in the entryway. And it still has a place of clear, high regard despite everything that's gone down.
What's the expression of everyone in the painting?
Aster sort of seems to have a relatively mild but pleasant expression. Their father seems to have one as well, but both your mother and her and their mother seem to have, like, a more stern expression.
Yeah, I think Lotus will take note of that and just sort of gently trail his fingers across the portrait, like the area of the portrait where his mother is, and I think he'll just very quietly in Elvish say, "Hopefully in death you realize that things could have been different."
Your mother looks, by the way, your mother looks a lot like, at that age, they're, like, relatively young, and she looks almost exactly like an enemy did at that age.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Yep. So Rezal sort of points the rest of you to sort of a lounge area and says, "Listen, you guys can make yourselves comfortable here. I'll have one of the servants get some tea for y'all."
I think. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. You go first.
You go ahead.
And then she turns to you, Lotus, and says, "Are you ready?"
Yeah. I will say, regardless of how this goes, it's just. It's nice to have family again.
She sort of smiles and gives you a hug.
He'll hug back. I think he's a bit awkward. Like, I don't think that he lets go until she does.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, being a Gitsurai, she's got that, like, tall, lean, but, like, tightly muscled frame compared to your big, burly frame. So it's like your big bear hug from you.
Biggest of bear hugs.
But yeah. She pats you on the back and says, "All right," and leads you upstairs to the observatory.
Yeah.
So as you like go up there, there is in front of the door to the observatory is a knight. What you can, as someone who has like experience with this, I'm not gonna make you a roll, but like this is like every like nobleman who like works in the council has a closely watched bodyguard called a Starblade.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this one has like this beautiful set of enchanted starglass armor that's got this like the colors of your house on it, like the pinks and sort of smoky grays on it.
Pinks, purples, and grays. Yeah,
pinks, purples, and grays. And he has a swordless hilt at his side.
I think Lotus will sort of bow his head a little bit in recognition of the knight.
The knight will also bow their head and sort of open the door for you and Rezil. And the interior of this observatory is completely transparent. It shines like it like has the perfect view of the night sky as you sort of step out into this like beautiful dome of glittering where the dome itself is like completely transparent. You can see that there is actually sort of a arranged starglass sculpture around it.
What is it of?
It's one of those, oh my god, star crystal stories, like the things that the astral elves are known for. Those where this starlight shines on it and you see a story, and it's like you sort of read it and like look through it and you just see like it's sort of an autobiographical piece by Aster. And it's really well made, surprisingly, that he put together himself. And a lot of it is focus has like these darker spots, and you can tell that's like when his parents died, or when he and his sister had the argument, or when they went off. And then there's just these beautiful bright spots that are, despite like the rest of it being kind of almost empty, that shine even brighter because of it. There's the meeting of Kartha, Rezal's father. There's a few parts where you sort of see him helping out in the outer city and like starting various programs to like help those in lower class situations or other things. But like as it goes on, you see sort of a turning point where Karzath dies, and more of the council stops funding social programs. And you can just sort of see that like the sculpture is unfinished. As obviously it would be, but it's also sort of feels like every piece is just getting more and more like less work put into it.
Hmm.
And
I think Lotus will take note of that.
as you sort of walk in his room, you see in the center, sort of staring up at the stars, is a astral elf in a wheelchair. Although instead of wheels, it has these sort of mechanical spider legs.
Like Pietro Polendina kind of situation.
Yes, kind of.
We got a handout?
Oh no, sorry. I
Oh.
don't. The back is very like well crafted and sort of padded, like almost like a throne kind of, but like more built for comfort.
Yeah. Perhaps next time we can get a handout from
I don't
USDM.
I don't have maybe if I can find one.
I'm pretty sure that Hero Forge has wheelchairs now. They might have had
Oh.
them for several months.
Maybe I'll have to check that. I haven't had a chance to make one for him though, so.
Yeah.
But he does look a lot like you.
Mm.
At least you older.
Yeah.
Another thing is that you know that like elves, especially astral elves, don't show their age. Like most of the time, an astral elf sort of just like looks like middle-aged until like maybe about 10 years before they die, when they finally start to like get actually like wrinkled or older.
Yeah.
He's starting to like, his hair is like starting to get like white, and like he's got like a little bit of wrinkles on him. Not even though you know that he's not nearly old enough to show that sort of sign yet.
I think Lotus just kind of stands there awkwardly in silence, kind of fidgeting with his fingers, not really knowing what to say and not really feeling I feel like Lotus almost feels like he doesn't have the right to say hello first.
As you're just sort of standing there, Rezal sort of looks at you and looks at Aster and looks at you. Aster just isn't even like facing in your direction. He's still sort of like looking up at the stars. And she's just gonna sort of put a hand on your back and gently but firmly sort of push you forward.
Yeah. I think Lotus will sort of awkwardly just and he'll walk forward and say, I don't recall meeting you, but it's nice to see you, Uncle.
You hear the sort of clicks and whirs as his chair sort of like turns around so that he can look at you, and he's got a very tired but pleasant expression, although his eyes, you can tell, are just sort of worn.
Yeah.
And he looks at you and he breaks out into a smile, but you can see... Oops, hold on a sec. You can see that he's crying a little bit, and he says, Lotus, my boy, it's so good to see you again.
I think Lotus cries as well, and he'll just sort of... I think he doesn't even realize it. He just sort of falls to his knees, and, like, I think it's one of those situations of, like, it's not the idea of, like, you know, oh, he's, like, a lesser man for doing this, but it's almost harrowing to see someone so large, so burly, so, you know, just covered in scars, just falter like that. Especially given the fact that in every encounter, you know, Lotus was always throwing himself in front of other people and not showing fear. I think he just fully falls down to his knees and, you know, grabs for his uncle's hand and just says, I thought everyone, I mean, everyone in Moontier is gone. I don't know about... Oleander's lost his mind, and I don't know where Anemone is, and I haven't had family in so fucking long.
And he just sort of gently takes your hand and runs his other hand through your hair and sort of says, "It's okay. Despite everything, you're here now. We're here together."
I've been trying to be so brave for everyone around me, and I'm so scared. All the time, I am so scared. And I am just trying to keep it together for everyone that relies on me. My friend Nova, I found him a wild forged not too long after I got brought back. The serpent is scared all the time. I know that I can't just keep everything inside, but I don't know how I can make people know they can rely on me if I don't seem reliable. If I show how scared I am of everything all the time, I feel like I'm just going to be alone again.
And he's just going to sort of hold you close and sort of gently pat your head and say, "I don't know what you've been through, Lotus. I can barely imagine what it must have been like. But I am so glad that you're here right now. And no matter what, know that I will always love you. I'll always be your uncle. And you
We're not even 30 minutes in and I'm already crying. Let's go."
You will
As one does.
You will
Me in therapy. Sorry.
You'll always have a place here.
I think outside of Lotus's like very deep shuddering breaths as he cries, I think both Grizel and Aster would notice that Lotus doesn't breathe.
He doesn't say anything about it.
He'll eventually stand up, take another very deep breath, and does it look like either of them have taken notice that Lotus's third eye is the only one that really seems to open?
You can make an insight check.
Yeah. That being said, like I said before, Lotus's permanently closed eyes, you know, the ones he was born with, do express and can produce tears, but they just never open. So yeah, those are the ones that I think most of the tears are streaming from. Let me make that insight check. 19. Again.
You could tell that they've noticed, but they don't care. Maybe you could see that maybe Rizal is a little curious, but she doesn't really have a horse in the race to she doesn't really want to make a scene by peppering you with questions, is like what you can tell.
Yeah.
And as you stand and sort of Rizal comes over and she sort of helps Aster sort of resituate himself a little bit, and he gently grabs her hand as well and rubs it and says, I've been feeling so worn for so long, Lotus. Ever since Moon Tier was destroyed, I didn't think that I'd ever see any of my family again. I made a new family with Cathar and Rezal, but I knew that you and Oleander and an enemy were in a bad situation, and I never truly forgave myself.
You're cutting out.
Oh no! What was the last thing you heard?
Ever since the fall of Moontear, I didn't think I'd have family again. I made my own family, with Cathar and Rezal, and, yeah, that was pretty much it.
But I never forgave myself for letting my sister walk away with the three of you, because I know her. I know what our mother was like. She was not a good person. Not terrible, but not good either. Although I suppose I don't have to tell you that, do I?
Not really, no. You know, all of us siblings were quite different, quite, you know... I don't think any of us were what Mother wanted. An enemy, you know, she wanted to go into more martial prowess, and Mother thought that was beneath someone of our station, and they got into a real big fight around her 100th birthday, and, well, that was the last I saw of her. She went off on her own. Oleander was always a handful, and while he had the, you know, idea of doing right by the Somnium name, he was always too... He was always a person to worry about, and I think Lotus will sort of unconsciously run a hand over the scar around his neck and the sun-shaped scars on his shoulders, and just say, I have reason to believe that he fell in with the Solar Legion under the promise of being something greater, which is all he ever wanted. And, well, I was just a druid, you know? I just spent my days in the woods with other druids and, you know, helping out around the farms, and, well, again, to them that was peasant work. But I think that even though we're of the stars, I think the Somnium family that my mother so cherished was keen to forget that this is our home now. Relia is our home now, and we have to cherish the earth that we tread upon.
It's so hard to let go, but you're correct. There's word that astral elves outside of the coast have started to change, become different, become more part of Valera than we are. But
I don't think that, you know, taking care of the world around us, whether it be the astral coast or the beyond, I don't think that is inherently the cause of the change. I think, like I said, it's people forgetting. If you forget too much, then you forget who you are, what you are, and I think it can wind up just as...
Well, out of character, there is a actual lore reason why astral elves are outside of the Astral Coast becoming Pale Elves.
Yeah. To be fair, Lotus doesn't know
Yeah,
that.
Lotus doesn't know that, but you now know that Relira outside of the Astral Coast as an Astral Elf, Relira views you as like a fucking virus. That's why Astral Elves becoming Pale Elves is...
You mean Pallid Elves?
Pallid Elves, thank you.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's in my head again.
I mean, Pallid and Pale are essentially the same word, but yeah.
Who? What
Astarion.
motherfucker? Oh.
No, it's a stay.
Okay.
The Pale Elf. Anyways, the Pallid
Pale
Elves. The Pallid Elves are becoming more in tune with Relira so that they aren't viewed as hostile invaders. It doesn't work like that for the Gith because of the shenanigans with Haywa. The Gith Zerai came first and then the Gith Yankee after, but Relira sort of recognized the Gith Zerai as kind of friends. That's a whole different scenario that like we're still working on, but yeah. Anyways. But you're right. Wait, what was the last thing you said? I'm sorry.
Yeah. He basically said, I think forgetting in one direction or the other is the issue.
We shouldn't cling on to the past, but we shouldn't forget where we're from.
Yeah.
It's a hard choice to balance. And progress is a good thing in some cases, but in others it can be used to pull too far ahead, to trample those underneath without raising them up with us.
Yeah.
And the Solar Legion are a part of that problem.
Yeah.
One of my constituents on the council has been suing to get the Solar Legion to augment our home forces, as it were. The city guard. But me and several others have been campaigning against him hard.
Must be quite the intense battle. I will say I'm not exactly familiar with politics.
A politician's sword is his words and his will. And while my words are as sharp as they've ever been, I have found recently that my will has been fading.
Your will is what? You cut out?
Will has been fading.
Well, I won't say that, that I can immediately make things better, but I'm hoping that knowing that it's not just you and Rizal are I'm hoping that will help. I'd be right upset if one of my last living family members, or rather last family members that I feel safe having contact with, were to die of a shattered heart, knowing that I could have changed something.
He sort of smiles weakly up at you and says, "Well, I'll just have to keep pulling through, won't I?"
I know it's not my fault, but I'm sorry it took so long. It was a lot of wandering after Moontier. 5 years, and only just recently did I work up the courage to come here to Starspire, and, well, things have been eventful.
I can imagine.
With all due respect, I don't think you can, but I'd be...
That's fair. I suppose I can't.
I'd be right pleased to fill you and Rizal in over a cup of tea.
I think I'd like that.
Shall we go accompany my compatriots in the lounge?
Yes. As he sort of like makes his chair move, you realize that while it looked more mechanical at first, you realize that his chair is also wild tech, much like Nova is.
Can Lotus see any unopened flowers on it?
No, actually, it does not have any. It's more wild tech like this doesn't usually sprout flowers, but
all right. I need to take Druidcraft proper at some point. I just remembered I didn't have it.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
Anyways, meanwhile, as they're coming down the stairs, you all have had a full spread put out for you of tea time stuff with little
Tea.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Tea in Noxstadt is more it's not quite green tea or black tea. It's like more like herbal and fruit tea.
Yum.
With various like spices. Yeah, if you've ever had Constant Comment, that one tea with like the orange rinds and like spices. It's similar to that, but with more of a actual orange base instead of black tea. It's really good. It's like it's got a sort of natural sweetness that doesn't like need sugar in it.
You keep cutting out for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's
Hello.
okay. I don't know why that happens. It's always like beginning of session, it's fine, and then once we start getting into stuff, it's like, you know what? We're gonna give Wick problem.
I'm going to turn off my noise suppression. So
that might be what's happening then.
Okay, so yeah, it's fruit tea, so it's like naturally sweet slightly, but with good spices in it. Like it's almost like glog or cider, but like
Ooh.
more with like
Yum.
cherries and oranges and moondrop fruit in it.
Ooh.
I will say, in accordance with the mic, it might be worth checking your settings because Discord recently updated with a partnership with some special noise suppression, like built-in
Chris.
app, extra whatever. Yeah. I've been noticing that affecting mine too, so, like, the standard seems to be okay.
Yeah,
Actually, question. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
I was just gonna ask, how do I sound? Because I know I messed with my mic earlier, and I'm
Sound
like,
good.
You sound
Okay.
good. You're a little
You're fine with me.
echoey, but not much.
I am I echoey.
Like I said, not
Weird.
much. It's not a big thing, but I do notice it slightly.
Okay, I'll have to mess with that because I did unplug my mic and I messed with it, and I shouldn't have done that. This is what I get.
So yeah, you've got these like these sweet teas and like these. So how it works is like Astral Elf tea time. The tea is like more sweet, so like the pastries are a little more plain. Like almost they've got a little sweetness to it, but it's more like shortbreads.
Okay.
Instead of like.
Well, they also have like more savory things along with tea time too. So
Yeah, they got a few
that.
few little finger sandwiches and
Okay.
little meatballs and stuff. I have like this really good shrimp toast, puffed shrimp toast.
Ooh.
Yum.
Mhm.
Shrimp pastry.
Shrimp pastry,
I
shrimp
mean-
Sakura shrimp crackers.
Anyways, so yeah, you guys have been already served tea, and you are soon joined by Lotus, Rizal, and Dr. Astor.
What's up?
I'm going to.
And technically, the whole party's here for this.
Yes.
So it's just okay.
Technically, the whole party is here. Also, I'm going to change this music to something less of a bummer.
Yay!
Fun fact: this track was called "Last Goodbye."
Oh.
Oh, I was wondering why it sounded familiar.
Is everything fine?
Yeah, it's just supposed to be a little sad. Like, he's
Okay.
very much, like, running low, but you've given him a little more energy to
Yay.
keep going.
You gave him a little pep in his step.
Yeah. It's still, like, he's still, like, war and,
War never changes.
But he's doing a little better.
Yay.
Huzzah!
So, let's see. This is a nice little vibe.
Yeah, a nice little vibe for Lotus to tell him all the horrifying details of the fall of Moon Tier and of everything that has happened in the past, 4 days?
Yeah.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
So, yeah. You're also obviously you're joined by his Starblade, who has been following you guys very respectfully, but very quietly.
Yeah.
Question. Did I spot any more of the spiders in the household? And also, is the wheelchair looking very much like the spiders I saw outside?
The wheelchair is wild tech, so it's actually made from
different
plants that have been grown to form a machine.
Ooh.
That's what Nova is, but of course.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was.
Yeah, you have seen a couple spiders every now and then. They don't seem connected to this guy at all. They just seem to be something else, and they're bronze, so you can guess that they're probably not associated with the Solar Legion.
Should I consider that there's spiders around here on this man's house?
You only seen one here, so.
Okay.
It's been very quiet and very, like, you can draw attention to it if you want to. But, like, I mean, that's up to you. It hasn't done anything to, like, attack you or anything. It's just observing.
I'm also gonna keep observing. Bolt, just a spider and Hono doing, like, the eye thing. Like, I'm watching you, we're watching each other.
Like when my cat saw the cockroach, you just stared at like, I see you.
I know you're there. Why are you here?
Cockroaches would stare down a cat too.
It did. It was frightening.
Those little fuckers.
And I had to get rid of it.
They'll survive a nuclear blast. Yeah, kind
they
of. They
will, but apparently not my cat though. So like.
Anyways, yeah, that is kind of like the shrimp pastry kind of deal.
Excellent.
Anyways,
Shrimp.
there's also like a crab version too. And,
Delicious. Delicious.
There's also
Jesus Christ.
I do a good Scooby, don't I?
Yes.
Anyways, but yeah, you all are free to sort of Lotus, you fill in Rizal and Dr. Astor.
How horrified do they look?
Pretty horrified.
Yeah, all the while Lotus is just so like.
By the way,
I won't say like desensitized, but he's definitely like saying it in a way that almost comes across as desensitized because he has like a fairly straight face aside from, you know, wavering in his voice.
You actually kind of see like Rizal like her ears like sort of droop a little bit, and like you remember that Gith are psionic, and you can sort of tell that she's picking up on your like fucking empathy a little bit.
Yeah, like, again, like, he has a fairly straight face, aside from wavering voice. Inside, both he and the Serpent are just so fucking tired and sad. Like... And definitely, like, he sounds really scared whenever he talks about, like, current and past Oleander and the Dark Star.
So, you also get another chance to make an insight roll on your hometown.
Yeah. At advantage.
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding me? 13! I have a +7 to insight, by the way.
I'm sorry, it is a 15 challenge.
This sucks.
This sucks,
Do I have
bro.
inspiration at all? Is that a thing? Did I get inspiration anytime recently that I don't remember?
You know what? I'll say that you got, and I'll have given you 1 inspiration for your interaction with Dr. Astor.
Okay.
I believe in you. No!
19! Okay, there we go! 26
I thought it was...
There we go!
Okay.
26!
So, suddenly as you're going over all of this, like, you remember the journal from the library.
Yeah.
You remember it mentioning the object, or the package, or various terms that all seem to point
the
to...
package, beloved Netflix movie about a guy who loses his dick.
Yes. You... Damn. Anyways, you recall... Finally, you managed to, after, like, actually talking to someone, and, like, sort of trying to get through your trauma a little bit. Like, it's still there, but you're able to focus a little more on it. And you remember that the only place that wasn't scorched completely or, like, shrived with this radiant flame... Shrived is such a good word, I love it.
Yeah.
There's nothing more terrifying. Anyways, under the mayor's house was this...
Come from the mirrors.
Was this basement that was completely untouched, other than, like, the door broken into and, like, this vault opened up.
Huh.
Don't like that. Don't like that.
I'm sure that's normal.
And while with this you still don't know what was under there, you realize that if there is, like, something important under the mayor's house, and you're sort of trying to put it together with that high of an insight, you're able to put together that the timeline was that somehow Oleander probably discovered that there was something important under the mayor's house.
Yeah.
That he alerted the Solar Legion to it somehow.
Yeah.
And they rewarded him by taking him in as they shrived your fucking hometown to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, Lotus will relay that.
But you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We come from the mayor's.
We come from the mirrors.
That fucking voice line lives rent-free in my fucking head. I think about that, like, at least once a month.
That and Monkey Moses. No!
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 Anyways.
Yeah. I need to watch The Christmas Tree in full, as well as Rhapsody Street Kids Believe in Santa.
Did you know that the lady that voices that fucking grandma that goes, voices fucking Savathun, the Witch Queen in Destiny?
That's hilarious. Did you know that Jodie Benson voices and sings for a character in fucking Rhapsody Street Kids Believe in Santa? Ariel's voice actress needed a paycheck.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's there, like...
Yeah.
Fucking Savathun's there. Like, there's, like, so many good voice actors in it. Like, they spent all their money on the voice actors.
Yeah, and that's all they spent it on. That's all.
That's it.
And that's it.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So, you get to the end of that, and you all guys have to just sort of sit here and watch, like, Lotus's family horrified by the horrors that Lotus has gone through.
This is just normal for us at this point, because we've heard the story a couple of times.
Although, I don't know if Honey has heard this yet.
I thought Honey heard it once, at least.
Honey heard about the escapades in town.
Yeah.
Honey finally unlocks Lotus's tragic backstory.
Yeah.
Of...
Aren't you happy?
Trauma unlocked!
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm just doing sleight of hand checks to try and eat tea and cookies and, like, not be looked at.
You do kind of have like a slit in your mask that makes it possible to do so.
Yeah.
Slotting
Oh my
it
God,
in
it
like a
opened-
DVD player.
It opens like those bird masks that we were all making during quarantine. Like those puppy bird masks.
Love that.
You know, in like some of the old Boba Fett books, there's like this one scene where like this one guy and Boba are like having drinks together, and he's like, "All right, I finally get to see what this motherfucker looks like under his mask," and he fucking pulls a straw from like underneath his helmet and puts it in the drink.
That's hilarious.
I feel like Hodo actually has a straw. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Ah, so he has a proboscis.
Yeah.
Got it.
Don't question this man. He has his hood up, so you have disadvantage at looking at his face anyway. I think. Wait, no. Is it? I have advantage. No, hold on. How does this work again? Anyway, continue what y'all are doing as I figure out the Cloak of Elvenkind.
As this is going on, you like see both of them, like you see Dr. Astor and Rizal sort of being more and more horrified, but also just because of this, it does seem to like sort of actually put some color back into Dr. Astor's cheeks a little bit.
Seeing that Lotus has like continued on despite it all.
Yeah, like that, and like, oh my god, I gotta fucking stick around to help my fucking nephew. Like. Jesus fuck.
I was traumatized. Look at this poor lad right here.
Yeah.
I was born with, I literally died and was practically decapitated. But then the cool snake man that brought me back, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love this dead boy walking.
Dead boy
So
walking.
I've confirmed. It's disadvantage to see me, and I have advantage on stealth checks.
Also, you're in dim light right now because this is.
I don't think I don't think I go invisible in dim light. No, I
Okay.
think it's just darkness. Sadly, I'd love for him just to disappear. Where'd your friend go? He just does that.
This is just like them listening to Lotus talk. Wait, no, hold on. Hold on.
I think
I
that's
got
the
a better one.
wrong
Yeah,
image.
yeah. It's probably closer to this.
Bro!
Honey, your cousin and your uncle all just losing it. Everyone else is like, yeah, we heard this story already a couple times.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
This one I think is also a applicable give somehow.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I am so sorry, Lotus. That is awful that you've had to go through this.
I'm still kicking, and that's what matters. He just gives like a smile that just looks like a cry for help.
Yeah, Rizal sort of puts a hand on your shoulder, and like she's got like the expression of like, bro, bro, you good?
This is not what we call a major L, a bruh moment, and definitely not oof Lamal.
The bestie, this is a traumatic event.
That's
Yeah.
rough, buddy.
That's right, fun.
Either, anyways, you all are allowed. You are more than welcome to stay here, Lotus, or even your friends if you so wish. Although I understand that your friend now has the responsibilities of a temple in the Temple District. You are also welcome to stay here if you want.
3 safe houses now?
Yes.
Well,
Hot damn, we have so many choices!
Yes.
that's 3 safe houses, which is
Well, 2
up to-
technically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
the inn
one.
is-
There's 3 places we can currently hang out, so that's optimal for moving around. I'll definitely give it some thought. I'm just... Well, on the one hand, staying here would be nice, because it gets us away from the spooky, scary beings from beyond the stars.
Oh!
On the... Yeah,
And he's going to sort of snap his fingers and point to one of his servants, who is going to he's going to say, "Get my amulet for me," and they're going to nod and go off, and they're going to come back and give you an amulet of non-detection.
Ooh.
Well.
I can never track you again. It's fine.
Hey. What's this?
This will help you from being detected psionically.
Oh,
at all, even.
Oh. Well, hopefully I don't get possessed by a weird gun and suddenly teleport away.
God damn! Oh, man!
I take it this has happened before in another game.
It
Yes, very
happened
much
last
so.
Wednesday game. Oh my god.
Hopefully it doesn't melt my flesh off, a second time.
I'm sure you're fine. Anyways. Oh boy. We're gonna have to deal with that. Oh, we are going to have to deal with that situation on Wednesday. Ooh boy.
Good luck. It sounds like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Did that just autocorrect amulet to and mullet? What the fuck?
Thinking about this one meme that I have saved of someone talking about Urianger from Final Fantasy XIV, and it autocorrected to urinal anger.
When we first changed my name, all of our phones would autocorrect hero to heroin, the drug, not even like hero, the girl. No, just the drug. So it'd be like, oh, heroin's missing school today.
Oh my god.
That's insane.
That's
Yeah, so I don't know why. I don't know why it didn't recognize the word hero.
Hey, is anyone else bringing heroin to school today?
Have you seen heroin?
That's so bad.
Anyways, oh man. So
Yeah.
do you all have any questions for Dr. Astor or Razal?
Honey's too shy to say anything.
I feel like I don't have the right to say anything, but I mean, was the Solar Legion brought up at all during the conversation?
Oh, very much so.
Yes.
Lotus gave his entire tragic backstory.
Was the mention of the Solar Legion in the city brought up at all?
Yes, as well as the mention of Oleander. Lotus literally spilled all the beans.
And you found out that while this was going on, that Dr. Astor has been making a coalition in the council so that they can fight to keep the Solar Legion from being integrated into the standing army of the city guard.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was said to the party, because I know it was said in private during the private conversation. Because I'm like, that's like one of the big things I would bring up if anything, but if it was already spoken about to the party, then I don't think I have to say anything. Oh no, it's just watching all of this go on. I'm sorry.
Honey has still only just gotten here. It's just taking it all in.
I think you showed up like a day or two after we did.
Yep.
We somehow packed so much into like 2 days. We're good at this. Well, yeah. Really sure if there's anything I'd bring up to Dr. Astor.
Notably, you all would notice specifically that Dr. Astor prefers to be called Doctor instead of Lord Astor.
Oh.
Actually, I think the only thing I might be interested in is perhaps getting more information on the other council members, if that's okay to ask. Like, a general what would be known to the public type situation. Not, hey, give me all the deets on everyone that you work with.
Oh,
But,
or
if there's even a place to find that, because I was thinking of getting that information from the library if it was publicly available.
So, there are 20 councilmen. However, there is like 5 high councilmen, and the rest are like the lesser council. The 5 high councilmen include Dr. Astor himself, Aurora. Fuck, what was his last name?
Delphinium.
Oh, Aurora Delphinium. There's Polaris Skythan.
Skythan?
Yes, Skythan.
Hey. I remember that orange fuck.
Wait, what?
In the Rime of the Frost Maiden game, that was the orange tiefling.
I just pulled that last name out of my fucking head, so that might be it. There's Polaris Skythan, there's Nebula, what is that one's last name? Oh yeah, Nebula Rousen. Aurora, Nebula. Oh, one more. Oh, and there is also Lunarium Quintus. Lunarius Quintus.
Okay. Cool. Thank you for that information.
And the lower council is mostly made up of people that are sort of... High council is usually people of nobility, although being a noble doesn't necessarily guarantee you a place on the high council. Aurora is one of the heads of the trade and commerce. Astor is head of public works and medical stuff. I'm sorry, I should have better names, but I don't. I don't have better names for these. So.
Oh, you're totally fine. I'm sorry that I just.
You're good. You're good. I should have said.
I ask a lot of names and a lot of lore information. I'm sorry.
Nebula is the head of the City Watch. So he's basically the general of the Astral Coast.
Which was the? I gotta actually listen back to the recording because Aurora was talking to another council member about the Solar Legion. Which one was it? Because I think you were cutting out during that, and I forgot.
That was one of the lower council.
Oh, okay.
So the High Council puts forward laws and suggestions, and they need a majority of the lower council to agree on their position.
Okay.
So there's 5 high councilmen, and there's between 15 to 30 lower councilmen. And it can be anything. You don't even have to be an astral elf to be on the low council.
Okay, cool.
Also, technically, the High Council doesn't necessarily need you to be a lord. You just have to have contributed greatly to Astral Elf, to the Astral Coast, in some way. though it can be inherited, so it's not completely merit-based. However, Nebula actually was originally, about 200 to 300 years ago, started out as a private just a common soldier in the army, in the guard.
Oh, okay.
So, he's not technically a lord himself, but he is got the position of one, basically.
So you can work your way up into this situation. Very good.
I believe Polaris is one of the great artisan lords. He's one of the oldest council members. He worked on he is one of the people who maintains the cathedral to Eula. And he's also one of the people in charge of the Starglass Guild that license out spots in the sky for the Starglass sculptures. And what was the other one?
Lunarium.
Lunarium is actually in charge of is actually kind of sort of a more not necessarily ambassador, because he stays in the Astral Coast and Starspire, but he's actually originally from the Basin of Rebirth and has sort of what is the head of like cooperative efforts between those two. He actually was the one who suggested the founding of Moontier a long time ago. He's the second oldest member of the council. But both him and Polaris are getting up there in years, so they may be retiring in the next 100 to 200 years.
That's not long at all.
Nah, it's a blink.
But a blink.
Okay.
Nope.
How old was Moontier again?
Moontier is about 500 years, I think.
Okay, yeah, I think I have it written down somewhere in my notes, but...
Does that sound right, Lotus?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I am terrible at time scales, so there is probably a high chance some of this stuff doesn't add up.
Yeah.
You're good, it's okay.
Do they have any reaction to Lotus saying that, like, he has no idea how long he was actually out during being reconstituted by the Serpent? Because Lotus would say, yeah, I don't remember how long I was out, but I remember when I woke up, the forest had basically all but burned down, and there was still snow on the ground, but the blood still looked fresh. Like, just a lot of things that seem paradoxical. Like, yeah, the entire forest had burned down, but there was still, like, fire. The bodies were, including my own, were covered with snow, but the blood still looked fresh.
There's not much of, like, there's, like, some thought, but, like, neither of them has, like,
an idea?
Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Okay. I don't think I really have any more questions. I feel like if Nova and Cassandra are here, they probably have some questions, but sadly they're not here right now.
Yeah.
Especially, I feel like Cassandra, seeing as community-based temple and Dr. Astor is more of the, like, social relations and, like, doing shit with the city, probably they would have connected.
So yeah, with Cassandra, with Feywill's new temple and the new temple to Thealden, which came about recently as well, there's now 2 more places in the outer city that are dedicated to helping people out.
Yeah. Does he seem happy about that?
He does. He seems very pleased about that.
Hell yeah. Do they have any? Do either Rizal or Dr. Astor have any questions about Lotus's dream eating or the serpent itself?
Rizal says that we have. I've never been to my father's homeland of Galamont, but I know there's a big connection to dreams there. Us Githzerai are from the Dream Realm, actually.
Interesting. Perhaps it's destiny.
We're from there, but we're not like spirits, like the quarry.
Yeah. Yeah, things are just a lot, but I've met some really good people, in the waking realm or living in my head, and as terrible as things have been, I don't think I would have wanted things to be different for fear of losing out on these opportunities. I don't think that if things didn't go the way they did, that I would even be standing here talking to the both of you.
Mm-hmm. But Dr. Astor's gonna say, there's not much I can do other than offer you a safe place here and perhaps give you all the means to at least quietly deal with Solar Legionnaires that are causing trouble. Of course, you can't outwardly and majorly do things like what you did without having a little
proper paperwork.
Well, no, not even paperwork. They're officially guests. You all committed a very serious crime. Technically
speaking, but I think we were in the right.
What were we talking about? I seem to have forgotten everything due to my mental weakness. It's so hard to remember. Would you all like a portable hole as just for my favorite nephew? A portable hole is a fun gift for my favorite nephew.
Of course, it's a real doozy.
I will say, technically, weren't we protecting ourselves because we told them to stop, and then actually Lotus did kind of try to chomp them. Yeah, no, you wild shaped. Yeah, Lotus, I don't think you were able to do anything because you had wild shape.
Yeah, Lotus did technically attack them first.
They were attacking somebody.
Yeah, to be fair,
technically, they were attacking someone that was outside of the law, so...
I think, speaking of, Lotus will ask, out of curiosity, how's the, man we helped doing?
He's doing better. I tended to him with some of my druided magics, and I helped him find his way to the broken blade.
You're also a druid?
Yes, and she sort of holds out her hand and like the bracelet on her wrist sort of pops into her hand and folds out into a star globe.
Ah, I will admit there were times where I thought about becoming a star druid myself, but well, when I was learning under the druids before the fall of Moontear and the Grove, I didn't really have a knack for any sort of circle to speak of, but after connecting with the serpent, I found that the Circle of Dreams best suited me, though the Circle of Dreams, usually you work with people that are or you work with the good people from the Feywild, from not the Feywild. What the thing it's from
The
Rockalon.
Dream World.
Yeah,
Not Rockalon or Relosia, but the Dream Realm.
but isn't Circle of Dreams druids like associated with the Feywild
In
in
other
the actual
worlds,
text?
yes.
Yeah.
Not this one.
So, oh, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. That being said, and he sort of scratches his cheek a little bit, like shyly, and just says, "That being said, I don't, have a lot of resources, given the fact that there's not really anyone that works with dreams in the Astral Coast, and also, from whatever texts I've been able to find, I don't think I've ever seen anyone who quite literally brings dreams into reality the way I do."
I mean, it seems to be, from what I recall of my father, he was actually a dream druid himself.
Interesting.
It's a common practice in Galamont.
Does he have any books or things?
No, unfortunately, it's more of a oral passing down through psionic memory.
I see.
Went down the path of stars, so I didn't really
I see.
benefit from any of his teachings. I'm sorry.
That makes sense. It's fine. If you or Uncle Aster have anything you think would be prudent to tell me about the practice, I'm a good listener.
I'll see if I can find anything, but it's very much not something I'm skilled with.
That's fair. So, given the fact that this was a grave crime, what exactly are we going to do about the bodies and the man that was being attacked?
We're going to have them brought back to life and have their memories erased.
What if they just go after him again?
Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to do this so that they don't turn up missing. And if they go after him again, hopefully, now that he's joining up with the Broken Blade, he'll have more protection.
With any luck?
With any luck. Mostly, though, he'll probably stick to the outer city now, which...
Actually, Hoda would like a clarification on the exact crime we did commit. Was purely
Murder.
attacking them. Hold on, we didn't kill them. Kill them. The one guy committed suicide, and a third party killed the other one. We were trying to knock them unconscious to stop them from attacking and stop them from attacking us.
Attacking a licensed or hired city employee is it's not quite death penalty levels. However, unless if you can prove yourself that you weren't the ones that killed them or caused them to have this mental attack against them to kill himself, or
I mean, he became blind. How are we supposed to know that him becoming blinded would cause him to kill himself? I guess it's a manslaughter charge.
I mean, I've been dropping some hints about blindness.
Yeah. I think Lotus will
but
reach... Oh, go ahead.
the important thing is that You did attack first, and because they died after that, that would be considered murder.
Yeah. Lotus will reach into his pack and bring out the blackened enemy petals and say, I know I already touched upon it earlier, but after the attack, I found this. And he'll sort of place that on the table before Rizal and Aster.
Aster's going to gingerly pick up a few of them and sort of hold them in his hands and say, well, she was in a dark place before. It's only fitting that she found herself in the darkness now.
I suppose so. I just wish that it was with anyone other than him.
The one consolidation I can give you is that, at least from what I have heard, the Dark Star does not directly control people themselves.
Yeah, I fear that the fact of the matter is I think Lotus hesitates and says, as I am now, the Dark Star is right. I cannot take on Oleander and the spooky, scary sun, nor can I take on the Dark Star itself. But that being said, I think both mine and the Serpent's resourcefulness and willpower speaks volumes. I may not have the power to fight back quite right now, but that doesn't mean that I won't in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, well, I've never met anyone like me, so able to wield dreams that I can bring forth the beauty of a sweet dream, the strangeness of abstraction, or the deepest terrors of my own or other people's traumas before us. And I think there is power in that. And if there isn't, I know that there is power within me and my willingness to help others and stand by my own principles.
Right now, I mean, you've gotten us. Sorry. Right now, you all are not well equipped, but you know, if you all maybe do work and like build up your strength and gather allies and power and treasure, you may be able to build yourselves up, have a network. But
that's the idea.
It is.
I do want to say.
Oh, good.
I was just gonna say, if they were in game talking more about what happened, like with the fight, Honey's just gonna have started crying a little bit on the couch.
Aww.
Hono just kind of gives you, I would say, like a half hug, but is also kind of just patting your back like
yeah.
it's okay.
Lotus will pull Honey into a big bear hug and, you know, hold her with his big strong arms.
Yeah, because she was the one that accidentally made the gun.
Yes, and
he willingly found that. Technically, he's the one who did it to himself, but you were the one who caused it. But
and she's really not happy with that.
Here. What?
So even though they're defending her, that she's still just like.
Do you need some more tea? Do you want me to here? Lotus will pull out the soup flask and say, here's some really good potato soup. It's very nice. I made it myself.
Drink this fucking soup. It's true. So you get to have the nat 20 soup.
Yeah.
It wasn't nat 20. It was real fucking
Yeah,
good.
it was really good.
Yeah, it was
Drink
good
the
soup.
You have your soup.
It's good soup.
There's no garlic bread left, right?
No, there is. And
Oh yeah!
everyone gets a treat of garlic bread.
Oh yeah! Oh shit! I forgot. What that gives you like 10 HP, right?
Yeah, like the 8 temp HP. I think. Let me check.
Yeah, check that. I never gave that to myself. Wait, no. I don't think it matters at this point.
Yeah. The soup gives us additional hit points when taking a short rest, and the treats give us temp hit points after a long rest.
I do love the cooking feat. It's very good.
It doesn't give me really any detail. Oh wait, hold on. At the end of a short rest, spends 1 or more hit dice to regain hit points, and regains an extra 1d8 hit points, and the treats give temporary hit points equal to my proficiency bonus, so 2.
Nah.
It's really good garlic bread. It's healthy garlic bread. Never let anyone tell you garlic bread isn't healthy. D&D
It's
says
good for
otherwise.
it's good for your soul.
It's good for your soul, and garlic also helps repel fleas.
And vampires.
And vampires.
Not D&D
Because I'm not trained vampires.
Yeah.
Actually, it does not repel D&D vampires. I don't think garlic has any effect on D&D vampires.
I think it should. Homebrew rule. There we go.
I think it should give you advantage on intimidation.
Unfortunately, I think we've already rolled in lore. It doesn't because one of our players is a vampire in our Monday game.
Oh. Yeah, Mel.
Ooh.
I mean, Mel should be allowed to have a garlic treat if she wants.
Yeah.
Mel
She
gets
deserves that.
Mel gets to have some delicious scampi and garlic bread.
Oh yeah, I love that for Mel.
Scampi. Oh, I could go for some scampi.
Mel just gets an allergic reaction like my mom.
Oh no!
And has to take a Benadryl. It's not bad enough for the hospital, just gotta take a little Benadryl.
A little Benadryl.
A little
You gotta
Benadryl.
take you gotta take a little lactate before you drink your milkshake.
Exactly.
Gosh. Woo. Okay.
So, you all are having this delightful little tea time.
It's a very late tea time, isn't it? I guess we have no clue because it's never sun up or sundown here. It's just night.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so
Staying here for the night?
yeah, do you guys want to stay here for the night?
Yeah.
Better we share an entire room in a hotel, which I'm down to do that eventually at some point because it's gonna be so silly.
You all can have your own separate rooms here, by the way.
Ooh.
Oh.
The rest of y'all get a guest bedroom, but Lotus gets one of the master bedrooms.
Ooh, fun.
So we gotta make sure we go home tomorrow, or back to the Hearts.
Yeah.
Starhearth, whatever it's called again.
Yeah.
'Cause you got a mushroom you gotta feed.
Yeah.
And Nova has to take care of all his 5 billion plans.
But yeah, most of y'all get a good, uneventful long rest.
Most.
Most.
Oh no.
Oh no!
No, oh
Me like, oh, it's gonna be Lotus again! No, it's Hono! Oops. What? Am I gonna get yelled at for stealing?
Hold on just a second. Give me just a second. Settings. Testing. Can you guys hear me still?
no. Yeah.
Yep.
Testing. Okay. One moment.
If you're using a voice thing, I don't currently hear it.
Not yet.
Okay.
Fuck. Where is it?
Can't believe I'm gonna get yelled at by my. I'm probably not gonna get yelled at. But I don't know. I feels very guilty about stealing that ring.
It still doesn't work. Damn.
You shouldn't.
Okay. Anyway, so no voice mods for us.
It's okay.
Oh well. So, as you guys are sort of resting, Hono, with your massive passive, you easily hear the window outside unlock, and some little teet on the glass as one of those bronze spiders crawls into the room.
It's just like when the cockroach was here.
Oh. Yeah, so this bronze spider is currently on the ceiling looking at you directly.
Oh no, just staring at the spider. Just staring back and forth.
Suddenly... Oh, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, this is not the one that was in the house before, right?
It might be. You're not sure.
You said it came from outside, so I wasn't sure. Okay.
But they all look the same, so you're not sure.
Dang.
But it does sort of... Its eye lights up. And this sort of, like, shimmering bronze light sort of peers out from it, and it takes shape into what appears to be a steel forge.
Oh! Point.
A tiny little man?
Are we getting, like, R2-D2, like, little holographic thing, or is it...
It's sort of...
Please tell me it's a tiny little man.
It is kind of a tiny little hologram.
Yeah!
Of this, this steel forge that... While obviously all steel forged are kind of like works of art in their own, you've never seen one that has like this like attention to detail. Like every single piece of their design is like this beautifully machined bronze that's sort of intricately carved. Various little script on each little piece. The plates have been filigreed with gold. They're wearing this like fine like silken robe of like a deep rich brown with like bronze threads sort of like woven throughout, and they sort of just regard you for a bit.
You said I've never met this one. What vibe am I getting? Like, am I getting that this is... I could be chill?
You...
In this situation?
Roll me an insight and a history check.
Cool. Okay, which one would be nice to me today? Okay, you,
Oh,
because you're
you gotta be nice to me right now. Oh, who you are? You gotta be nice to me right now.
Alright. Okay, so you said an insight and a history. So the first one is flat 20.
Alright, what one is that?
And that's insight.
Uh-huh.
And then a 19 for history.
Okay, history
I
first.
rolled 2 14s. What?
History first? This is a motherfucker.
Oh, sorry. I said insight first, then history.
I know,
so
no,
20 for...
I'm covering history first.
Okay, cool.
For history, this motherfucker is from the Age of Artifice.
Oh.
This is like
Okay.
pure like Age of Artifice crafted steel forge. Just by like the way.
So this is like Granddad coming to say hi to the little baby.
Yeah.
What's up? What's going on?
And insight, even with a flat 20, it's kind of hard to get a read on them, but they seem to be more curious towards you than like hostile.
All right. Well, I have a feeling they know I'm a steel forged at this point. Hono will remove his mask for the first time since he came into this fucking city. And oh god, I still haven't fully figured out how I want him to look, but I would say also fairly finely crafted. More, I always keep thinking of him like as a brassy, bronzy color. But the one kind of distinct thing is that there seems to be like gashes or damage coming up from his throat to his face.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
and
so
this steel forge sort of holds up his hands. And you can see that he actually has 4 hands and 4 arms, and is
4 hands, 4 arms.
Yep. And signs in Gith sign language if you prefer to see. Do what?
I said, thank fuck.
They ask, do you prefer to communicate in this way, or are you comfortable speaking?
Hono will actually say, I prefer this. It hurts to speak.
Understandable. If you so wish, I can have that looked at for you sometime.
Hono would actually kind of nod at that. Seeing as he had the attention that he probably wouldn't get this fixed until he went home, and he had no clue what that meant. Just go home and be like, parent, help. Anyway. Sorry.
I would have to get a better equipped drone for that, though.
Hono would sign. That's alright. I'm fine with waiting. It's okay.
He nods and then signs. You are an agent of the many-faced Kairos, are you not?
Signs yes.
Fascinating. I am curious what your goal is in this city.
The fact that this one doesn't know what's going on does concern me a little bit. But my vibe check was that they seem to be okay.
Yeah, he seemed to be more curious than hostile.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean he couldn't become hostile, but right now he definitely does seem more curious than dangerous.
Okay. Hono will essentially just say that he is scouting for information and seeing the state of things up here. Seeing if how they would treat our kind.
How who would treat our kind? The mortals or the Eidolons?
I suppose both.
Would you so readily capitulate to those that took everything from us?
I would readily, cappuccino. Who up capitulating? Jimmy.
Here's the thing. I'm like a baby, so I really only know the history. I've not really dealt with the pain.
I don't know, they seem pretty nice, I guess.
I think Hono would kind of say, or Seeker at this point, because we're Steelforge and Steelforge, would say, I do not know the pain. Well, actually, I've heard of the pain that you have gone through, and many of your age have gone through. I am newer. I only know the history and what has been told to me.
Would you like to see something?
Perhaps. Oh, dear!
Oh.
God, my name is Seeker of Knowledge. God damn it, why are you doing this to me?
You can't crawl into someone's window and then go, do you want to see something?
Hey bro, I'm a fairy, let me in.
I will say this is not the first time some weird person crawled into my ranger's room and said, hey, you want to see something? When my ranger said, hell yeah!
You want to see a dead body?
No!
I think Hono, after a moment, will hesitantly, well, not even really hesitantly, but will say yes.
The little...
Oh, the music changed!
The light is going to turn off on the drone. And the drone's going to drop to the bed and sort of hold out a little claw that sort of extends.
I never asked their name. I should probably get their name before they take me into a dream.
Do you ask this Steelforge names?
Yeah, actually, I kind of do want to get a name.
I am the Clockwork Gardener, Keeper of Rage.
Bless you.
Sorry, the Keeper of Rage?
Mm-hmm.
No! Oh!
That's a normal name.
Would you care to see my garden?
You can't ask this question.
You go to his garden. You go to his garden, and it's fucking Ursula's garden from The Little Mermaid. There's just a bunch of little freaks there that are screaming and groaning in terror.
I kind of want to see your garden, dude.
Ah!
So the claw of this drone extends and turns into almost like a USB port on a cord. That you get the sense to sort of connect to your like head.
With my knowledge of being a Steelforge, how dangerous is it to connect to another Steelforge or something like this?
Oh, it's not dangerous at all. You know, it's like perfectly safe. Like, even if like that.
Okay, so this won't.
Yeah, even if that Steelforged has hostile intentions, like this kind of connection isn't psionic. They can't, like, attack you through
This
it.
is what y'all are doing. This is what you are doing with this tiny little man.
I can't believe I'm getting visited by a tiny little man who is the keeper of rage, and he's gonna show me his garden. Hey, buddy, let's go see this garden!
Come on, touch USBs with him!
So,
I freaking love this game. I love this game.
You guys touch tips, huh?
Yeah, they sure do.
Anyways, you connect this to your to a port on your head, and suddenly you're no longer in this room, but you see this beautiful, like, crystal clear viewport, and you look out of it and you see the planet of Waliris expanding out beneath you, and all around you in this, like, place, this, like, observatory high above Walira, even above the elemental rings. You see these beautiful interconnected gears ticking and talking and connecting together, each one a singular work of beautiful artifice. And standing in the middle of it is a 10-foot tall steel forged, the one that you saw in the vision.
Why are you so tall? I don't actually say that, but also, why are you so tall?
This observatory is massive, by the way. Like, you'd guess, like, if you were to, like, measure it, it'd be, like, about half the size of, like, one of Valera's moons, but it is, like, so far, like, beyond the world that, like, it would be barely visible in the night sky.
So am I just fucking in space right now? That's what I thought it was gonna be?
Yes.
Are we on a space station?
You are on an Age of Artifice space station.
Yo, I went to space, guys!
Wow! And it's the sort of orderly ticking and talking of gears working together, and this the gardener himself, who a staff that looks kind of like the hand of a clock is floating alongside. He spreads.
That is very interesting, Wick.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say anything else.
Oh, it does not have anything to do with what your thing does. There can be multiple clock things.
Fair enough, fair enough.
And plus, that character doesn't exist yet, technically. They're in the Schrodinger's character box.
Technically. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's true.
so this steel forge spreads wide its upper hands as its lower hands sign, "Welcome to my garden, seeker of knowledge."
Please ignore the fact that my garden screams and writhes.
It does not. It is what it ticks and talks. It's all mechanical. There's no there's no like suffering or like pain or like tortured souls or anything like that going on here.
Yeah, I know. I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
So is this garden essentially just like this Age of Artifice, or Artifice, base station and all of the things that are within it? Is there anyone else around, or is it just the Clockwork Gardener?
It's just the Clockwork Gardener. They are completely...
Man, he's probably lonely up there.
There is...
Got them bone hands.
There is, as you sort of look around, there is a singular, like, not a painting, but like one of those like raised wall like sculptures, like that looks kind of like a painting or a picture, like carved into the back wall of the gardener, sort of like from like the shoulders up, and a human, what appears to be sort of working on tinkering on various bits and baubles of the gardener himself. But
Bits and baubles, you say?
the human artificer in this etching is carved so much more detailed than the gardener is that, like, you can tell just even with your passive insight that so much care and reverence has gone into this etching.
I think Hono would kind of look at the image and sighing, is that your creator?
Yes, that is. He is the one who built this garden and appointed me to watch over it. To see what lay beyond the sphere of Illyria itself.
Wait, sorry, can you repeat? See what lay beyond the sphere?
Sorry, not the sphere. That's a completely different term. Ignore that part. The skies of Illyria itself.
Oh, okay.
Listen, sphere has a completely different meaning in D&D cosmology. We're not getting into that just yet.
No, you're good. I was checking to make sure, like, what I heard. Eventually, Seeker will say, and you've been here this entire time.
I have been here.
Alone?
Yes.
Oh no, /Seeker seems a little sad at that, actually.
Their sympathy is appreciated. I have had a few guests from various places in the last 300 years, but not many others.
Sorry, I'm just rushing.
No, you're good. I'm glad someone is typing notes.
I'm sorry.
Have you seen I sent you the link. Have you seen? I'm up to 22 pages of notes for 6 sessions so far.
I love that. That's so good.
I actually have to go back and get some, like, accurate information from some of the other ones when you were cutting out a little bit, or I was too distracted to, like, properly write. But yeah, I like to get it accurate. I think Stu's at the end was, like, a couple hundred pages long.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It goes for a while. I like typing everything that fucking happens. Sometimes I try to get accurate what is said as well, like what people say. Okay, so he said that he had a few guests over the last 300 years. I'm assuming by guests he means other Steelforge.
He does not clarify on that.
Seeker would actually ask other Steelforged or others completely.
A few have been steel-forged, a few have been mortal. I have once entertained what you would call a solar.
What the heck would I call it? For me, above the two, what's a solar?
That's like one of the celestials, like an angel.
Ah, okay.
In character, you could make a religion or arcana check.
I will do that. Well, I don't know jack shit, apparently, because what's my religion? And what's my arcana? It's a 6.
Yeah, you don't know what a solar is.
But for me, I know it's a celestial. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
For my notes.
Above board, you yourself knows, but Ono does not.
Yeah.
Recently, I have entertained a few very interesting mortals.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Oh, sorry. Recently, I have entertained a few very interesting mortals.
Interesting how?
interesting, and they have some of my similar ideals. I am curious, though. Why do you wish to capitulate to the Eidolons? To fall so easily under their sway when it was them that destroyed our culture, our people, our creators. Even if but not by personal deed alone, by commandment.
All I want to say is mentally right now, Hona's like, I feel like I should be talking to Kairos many voices about this before I talk to you. This is like stranger danger, sir. Obviously that is not said aloud.
He isn't, like, you're still with your insight, he's not, like, angry or anything towards you. Like, he did fully admit that his title was Keeper of Rage, but he seems to be more curious and pleasant to talk to at least to you.
Yeah, I feel like he probably wouldn't be so keen on some other people in our party.
He should talk to me. I'm sure we'd get along great. He should talk to Cassandra. I think they'd get on great.
Yeah, totally!
Definitely. Talk to the cleric.
The cleric who has got an Eidolon chilling with her.
Yeah. And also a ghost. A bird ghost.
General vibe is that we're the Steelforge are kind of, they feel it's time to not be living in the darkness anymore, essentially.
Yeah.
Or yeah. I feel yeah, Seeker will say we, the ones of my city, feel it is time, or at least we hope it is time that we can emerge, that we will no longer have to stay within the ruins.
I understand.
And
I do not judge you for it. You all have only your own one city. You are all in one place. Kairos has kept you well hidden from the Eidolons just for this purpose, because he also fears that their judgment may pass. They are simply willing to work with them instead of try to rebel. And on some level I can sympathize. After all, how much death was enacted upon the Felling? What choice do you all have but to hide and hope that their ire passes above you? But what if there was another way?
I love this dark side coming in.
Have you ever heard of a gun? Just pulls out a fucking Glock.
I'm pretty sure the space station is probably a fucking gun.
Oh, go ahead.
It's the fucking egg. It's the fucking death egg.
You're not.
Death egg!
You're not wrong.
I don't like that I'm not wrong. Take that back.
I love that we just have a casual Death Star. It's fine.
Listen, this is old artifice. This is like the crazy shit.
This fucking.
I think Seeker will.
I have an announcement.
I've come to make an announcement. Anyways, go on.
Seeker, when he mentions what if there's another way, Seeker will kind of observe him for a moment before asking what other way.
What's your insight again?
The one that I rolled was It was a 20, but my passive is a 16.
Okay, but between those...
Is it? Yeah, it's a...
With a 20 that you rolled, as he's talking, he still has that, like, genuine, like, cheerful curiosity about him, but, like, you sort of, like, peer underneath, and, like, While it is not directed towards you or anyone else, whenever he mentions Eidolons, you can sense an ocean of hatred. Burning, seething anger, contempt,
Rage.
desire for revenge, and also a sadness as deep as that pit of fire. A cold, unending abyss of loss and regret. But even with that, there's still a genuine kindness to him despite all of that. He seems to, like...
This man's got layers.
Yeah.
Like an onion.
I love that for him.
Ogres have layers.
I feel like he's gonna probably end up being a BBEG, but I'm gonna feel really fucking sad to be on the opposite side if that's the case.
There could be.
Oh no.
I have recently come into agreement with a certain group upon Relira who also shares a similar desire to wrest control from Eidolons. However, their main goals still contradict with mine, and I will have to end them once I am done with them. But...
I'm pretty sure he's talking about the Solar Legion?
I am, of course, referring to the ones that call themselves the Solar Legion.
Hono goes, I kind of guessed.
I can tell you're very intelligent.
Not like that fucking pink one that's so terrifying.
I wonder if he's even cared about the rest of the party. Maybe he does. I don't know.
Maybe.
Your party being a nuisance to them will be possibly useful in the future.
Possibly.
Yes, nuisance is Honey's middle name.
Hi, nuisance.
I am currently assisting them in developing some technologies. They are more than eager to work with me, but none of them grasp the nature of what we are doing.
I think I just realized how Oleander became Robot Man.
And when the time comes, I will be the one victorious against them, hopefully. And then, hopefully we can have a Relira that is for mortals, for all of us, that we no longer have to answer to Eidolons or anyone who claims power above us, that I can help usher in a new age of intelligence, reason, and science.
Politely listening to this man and just like, I am listening. I don't know how to react.
Oh no, would you like to see my library? Or Secret, would you like to see my library?
How dare you bring up a library?
I've seen that. I saw that you visited the tower, and while that is quite the impressive work, I must hand it to that dragon in her collection of knowledge. Even she lacks books and records from the Age of Artifice.
God damn it. Why are you doing this to me? This man heard my name and said, oh, I got him hook, line, and sinker. I know how to make this little robot work for me.
Fucking nerd. I can deal with this.
Because it works.
How fucking dare you? And
Listen,
my voice somehow becomes...
I got shit for all of y'all.
Oh, okay. I mean, fun
sure
times.
about that?
This begun with you giving me gloves of thievery, and it's gonna somehow end with me joining this man. Not that I'm planning to, just saying that above the board. No clue if it will happen or not.
I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't.
Oh man! Hono will actually want to see the library. It's fine, he doesn't need to sleep. Let's go read some fucking books!
He opens up a hatch that leads you into the garden deeper, and everything about this place is a beautiful work of art. Like, every single gear and piston and screw even seems to be etched with like the utmost care in its construction. And as he takes you...
Actually,
oh, go ahead.
As we're walking, because I have a question.
Yeah.
Hano is gonna ask, or Seeker, I keep going back, it's fine, it's got two names! Seeker will ask, you said that your creator built this place. Did he build all of this? Is this all of his work, or have you added to it?
I have added to it as well. I've learned the art of artifice from my creator, and just simply due to my ability to keep going without age affecting me, I have probably mastered it far greater than she ever did, though I would never, ever try to put myself above her. For she's practically my mother.
Seeker will nod. I think I'm going with the fact that Seeker has a single parent that created them, who was a teacher, or is a teacher. But yeah, so Seeker, they get it.
Yeah.
They both have people who made them. Those are their parents. It's fine.
Yeah. That's why he's a good foil for you.
I can't believe you're doing this to me.
I can't believe you done this.
How dare you?
Also, I
Seeker will
misjudge this. This is This is probably like the size of like Deimos or Phobos. It's not nearly like half the size of a moon. It's very big though. It's a very big place, but it's not like half moon sized. You know, like one of the
Is it essentially something that might take a few days to walk around and see everything type size?
Oh yeah, because it's honeycombed with like vast tunnels. And like various chambers. Like it's a big fucking like construct. It's like I said, it's calling it half the size of a moon is too much, but it is still like a big, huge asteroid or planetoid that's like maybe like an eighth the size of the moon, like, you know, like a Phobos or Deimos like mini moon thing. But you guys managed to only, after about like maybe 10 to 15 minutes, get to the library. But instead of books, there's like these rows and rows of like miniature little glowing crystals.
Is it similar to the ones that Kairos, one of the parts of Kairos holds, or is this a completely different technology?
It's similar to that.
So at least I know this technology.
Yes, you know that this is like one of the Age of Artifice's methods of storing information. You know that the Githyanki had a similar sort of device, although theirs was a lot more clunky before they came to Walira, and there's still some of those in existence, but these are just these small little crystals. Like, one can easily fit, like, one of them is probably about the size of like a human finger. Like, it's not big at all.
Hot damn. I'm guessing this is absolutely packed full of just little crystals.
Yes.
God damn it, if this man keeps inviting me over, I'm gonna have to read the entirety of his goddamn library. Wick, why'd you do this?
Because
Why'd you do
I'm
this to
evil.
me? I know you are! This is... I'm gonna have to pay you back in Cowboys now, I hope you know this.
I hope you do! I am playing the horrible, sad, old lesbian woman who's gunslinger. I know she's got a bullet with her name on it somewhere.
I have fucking plans for your character. I do. Anyway, let's get back to this game.
Okay, what did I miss?
They're in the library, and the library is full of these tiny, like, finger-sized crystals that each have, like, information stored on them.
This is going to be the worst temptation for my boy, whose name is Seeker of Knowledge.
This is literally the fruit of knowledge here, baby. This is your fucking apple or pomegranate if you go closer to the original translation.
Yep. My boy just like, I can have a little nibble.
Yeah, sure.
Fine.
Except you do recall one of the only restrictions that Kairos has put upon your people is thou shalt not seek after the lost art of artifice.
Oh, the lost art, aka creating?
Yes.
Or just
like
creating other
So like creating Warforged is fine. That's like he sort of like recognizes that that's like something that they have to like keep the species going, but like you know that like this like this construction could probably decimate at least one or two countries if it were to like go down to Walera before like people got together to take it down. Like the Age of Artifice's magical technology was incredible. Like the gods or the Eidolons like fell the floating countries the floating cities because they were damaging the surface of Walera, but there was also probably a little fear in there as well.
Okay. Alright, well, I mean, if I'm looking at anything in this library, it's probably historical stuff over... I'm gonna listen to Kairos. I'm gonna be a good boy.
Sure, that's fine. I mean, you could say that now.
I hope you know that Hono is gonna go immediately down.
And yeah, you say, what would you like to learn about first, Seeker of Knowledge?
I want some motherfucking history. Give me some history.
Little did we know the serpent wasn't the real serpent all along.
I have...
In fact, it was a fucking robot.
I have the perfect one for you. And he's going to go over to a section that's written very old script, but you can still recognize it as like basically common script, but it's like
the old common?
Older than that.
Oh.
Like, this would be like Germanic, almost. Or this would be like Latin, actually. But you, as a Warforged, or as a Steelforged, you would recognize this. Like, this is something that you can read.
Hell yeah.
And he hands you...
I love that for me.
He hands you a single crystal with the word carved on it that just simply says, the gift of life.
Gay people.
Oh. I mean, yes, but, hold on. The gift of life as in, like, creating Steelforged?
I mean, he just hands it to you. Do you activate it?
feel
Can
like
you insert it? Sorry.
just USD it. Before I do anything, what the Seeker is actually going to ask, what is on this?
This is the record of the first of our kind.
It's a birthday date.
Something I'd be okay to learn about.
Oh, are you?
Me asking you, Nick.
You're not sure. This is more okay. This is less about like the creation of it. It's okay. You might be a little hesitant to take this, but okay. If you want something else, he can get you something else.
I want to, here's the thing, I do want to read it, but if it goes against what Kairos told me to do, I don't want to upset Kairos.
So, yeah, you know that, you aren't supposed to know how to make another Warforged, or another Steel Forged without, like, going through the process. I.e., learn it, create the Steel Forged, and then have the memories of that process wiped.
Yeah, that I remember.
So, you say this would probably fall into territory.
Forbidden knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maguka forbidden it did.
I think Seeker would say, as much as this interests me, I believe it goes against what I was taught to learn. Perhaps do you have something else?
Yes, what you were taught by that stupid Eidolon.
Hold on, I don't have any Eidolons.
Yeah.
Is Kairos not an Eidolon?
He's not an Eidolon.
Okay, well there you go. Never mind.
Technically, he's.
That's why I'm just chill. I'm just like, these Eidolons are just like things. They're just like little guys to me that I gotta talk to.
Yeah.
I understand.
Of course.
It is. I understand. I will not judge you for this. And with your with your passive insight, you can tell that he truly does not judge you for it.
Thank you, sir.
And he is going to say, here we go. And this one is just titled A Day in the Life.
A day in the life.
Okay.
A day in the wife.
I'm going to take a chance I'm going to take a chance on this one because I already put my boundary down. So I feel like he's not going to cross it. If he does, then we know he's just a douchebag. But he doesn't seem to be one so far.
Yeah.
Why do I keep messing around with BEG?
Why do you?
No, this is not the second time a Warforged of mine. This is the second time a Warforged of mine has somehow come across some super ancient, knowledge-hoarding BBEG-like, or possible BBEG, and was like, hey, you want to read some shit? And they said yes!
You gotta set your boundaries, man.
Alright, I'm gonna read A Day in the Life! Let's fucking do it! And if I get some forbidden knowledge, I'll immediately stop reading it and be like, Kairos! I need you to erase something from my brain!
As you activate this, you immediately are not... You're in a different time and in a different place. You hear the wind blowing around you, and you feel its gentle, cool kiss upon your skin. And you smell the sense of baked goods and fresh meats and various spices. And you look around and you see a beautiful city with towers that stretch out into the sky, bordered by clouds themselves. You see people chattering and having a having sort of peaceful talks and listening to.
Are they human?
Yeah, most of them are human. There's like a few other races. Like there's like some elves, half-elves, orcs, a few plain touched, I think, but like it's majority human.
You said it was some orcs too.
It's like a mixture of like all the races, kind
like
of.
a mix. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
But
this
guys,
But yeah, it is mostly human. It is vast majority human.
I'm assuming this is the city. I'm on one of the cities.
Yes. You are on.
I don't think this is my city, but does anything look vaguely familiar to me?
Well, even if it was your city, it would be hard to tell because your city is underground.
Yeah. And ruins and
Yeah.
probably
But you
covered in
recognize,
plants
like,
by now.
You recognize like common like details of like decoration, like various like these like out of character, like they would be similar to skyscrapers in like the real world, but like made more out of like metal instead of just concrete, and like they have these beautiful intricate details on everything is like personalized. Like every single like piece of like the city is like clearly been made with like a care to detail and like this appreciation of the craft. You see children sort of playing in like a little one of those like things that's like a sprinkler. Like, you know, at like certain like malls where they have like those sprinklers
the splash pad.
Yeah, splash pads. Like there's like one of those, like various children are having fun in that. There's a musician that's playing this like strange device that is letting out almost these like sort of like sonorific wails. Like it's out of character. It's basically like an electronic pad. Like, in character, like, it's this... You've seen a few steel-forged bards that, like, use something similar, but, like, this is, like, old school with, like, so much more, like, depth in sound to it. You even see Steelforged walking along and just living their lives with the people of Artifice. Overall, you see this... The impression that you get is that of a peaceful people who are truly without war with each other, that simply indulge in their craft and care about one another. You do not see a single person that seems hungry or cold or homeless. You notice that, like, there's various, like, buildings that, like, are marked in the Artifice script that say, housing and a cafeteria. There is... Almost everyone here seems to have, like, their basic needs to be provided for, whether or not they do anything. You see various people who, with, like, what would be crippling disabilities and more other parts of your life have mechanical limbs that work just as good. You see a sort of a hospital-like place where people go in sick and come out nearly just a few minutes later looking absolutely in perfect health. You see these works of beautiful creation. And you look down over the edge of, like, this building, and you see Walira far below you. And you see the tear in the world that it rose up from, that leaves a deep scar in the planet. And you see various drips and drops from underneath leaching out and falling upon the land underneath it. And you see the beauty here, but you also know, as someone who was raised, you know why the Eidolons decreed that the people of Artifice must fall. But at the same time, this beauty is something that you feel like a longing for. Like a nostalgia that was never yours in the first place, but you can't help but feel like, couldn't there be another way? Shouldn't this...
Tomorrow's nostalgia today.
Isn't there a way that we could have, like, done this without all of these people dying? Because you see, this place is huge! There must be at least 1 million people on this one city. And you know there were several major cities, and how many people died in the felling? Was it really worth it?
God damn it! Why you fucking with my kid's head, huh? Why are you doing this? I'm gonna have a long talk with many voices after this. Be like, hey, grandparent, whatever the heck you technically are to me.
Peepaw.
You're a very estranged, a sibling of sorts, I suppose, came over and showed me some forbidden shit and is trying to tempt me. What do I do?
He's holding the pomegranate out and being like, you want it? You want a treat? You want a treat? You little pet wants a treat?
He knows my name and he knows how I take it. It hurts.
And the worst part is, you know that, like, he's being completely genuine. Like, you can tell that he's not trying, like, even if, you can, like, tell that even if you were to go against him, he would not, like, judge you for it.
That's the really sucky part.
He is 100%.
I think he's just like,
why do you look at me with that damn earnest look on your face?
He sees a little baby steel forged and he's like, oh, that's cute. You wanna learn some stuff? Stuff that they don't let you know? You should be angry about what happened. I'm angry. Let's be angry together.
You wanna be angry?
And as you sort of take all this in, you feel a rumble beneath your feet.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! Oh no! Hey! Hey, I know what you're fucking doing here!
And suddenly, everything falls.
And suddenly it falls!
And, you know, in a lot of things, like, people, like, when, like, you see something in a movie of, like, something falling as, like, people somehow stay on it, that's not how it fucking works. You see people out just being flung into the sky.
Yeah.
And you yourself are flung, and you just hear millions of screams as these cities fall into the earth, and suddenly it gets so fast until finally it's over.
Well, that's fucking horrifying.
Yeah? Yeah? Hey! It's Hono's turn for some fucking trauma! I was like, is he gonna get any? He does!
He does! Yay!
And yeah, the vision ends.
How you feeling, buddy?
I feel, am I still holding the crystal?
Yes.
I feel like he almost actually drops it, but just comes back to himself just in time to catch it. Because
you do feel
the boy doesn't like.
You do feel a steadying hand on your shoulder from the gardener.
Thanks.
I am aware that might have been a little much, but I feel that as someone new, I feel like you should have seen it yourself.
Tono's kind of quiet for a moment before eventually, I think, actually would speak with his actual proper voice, but only manages to get out so much death, and it's pained.
He gently pats on your back and says, "It was a massacre, a genocide."
God fucking damn it! Why are you doing this to me?
I don't want you to just up and change your entire viewpoint, Seeker. I simply want you to see all of the cards on the table, to understand what was taken from us, and the crime that was committed. What you do with this knowledge is your choice, but it is something that you should know.
Just kind of nods. Seems to not really know what to say in the situation.
What even can you say?
Yeah.
Frankly.
Eventually, kind of. Is it like, am I able to put the crystal back, or was it like super high up? And the gardener was just like yoink with his long ass arms.
No, you can put it back. It gently floats to the shelf that it was on.
Yes. Okay. He puts that back. And I think after what probably feels like ages to him, he's going to sign, "I need to think about this."
That's all I ask.
God damn it! I'm like going right into this man's palm. He's like, yes.
He's not even like that. You know it, and that's probably what makes it worse.
He's just like, I'm just trying to educate the younger generation.
Yeah.
I'm doing a service.
Remember what they took from
Remember
you.
that we once lived.
Yeah.
I hate, the thing is, like, the remember, like, I know, like, you know, you're absolutely using, like, you know, this rhetoric to show how fucked, like, you know, the Solar Legion and this guy is, but, like, goddamn, remember what they took from you. It really is understandable how this pipeline happens.
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst part, right? Is that, like, you can not agree with it all you want, but you can look at it and see, like, no, I get how the pipeline gets people, I don't like it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like, this guy is completely genuine, but he's also been alone for thousands of years to stew in his own feelings.
Yeah.
Not even fucking Emmett Shelk was alone.
Yeah.
At least he had his fucking, like, crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy's alone, and it seems like he's probably been festering in his hatred, but also kind of growing with this, and probably, like, I have been working on this plan for a hot minute, and I kind of want to see all the Eidolons gone.
Yeah. Oh. If I had a nickel for every campaign I was in where someone was trying to overthrow and murder all the gods, I'd have 3 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened thrice.
I think this might be my second time? This is my second time.
See, I'm currently in 3 campaigns actively that are dealing with this plot point, and I think that's funny.
Oh, to be fair,
Both my current campaigns! Both my current campaigns!
To be fair, on Wednesday, we're only gonna kill Ike, probably.
That's fair, that's fair.
That motherfucker...
Okay, I misunderstood. Elias isn't actively trying to kill and overthrow the gods. It's more of like a, well, I guess that'll happen kind of
Yeah.
situation.
Oh, I thought you meant like us
So I'm
directly.
currently in
because
2.
We are absolutely going to kill the god of cops in our Wednesday game.
Yeah. Ideally.
Fuck the police on a cosmic level.
For real.
Anyways, but yeah. He's genuine, like, he is being 100% genuine in that he is just trying to show you what happened. And let you come to your own conclusions.
Like, this is something that, technically, Seekers already knows about this and knows why it has happened. However, it was never obviously shown in such detail.
It's one thing to, like, know that, like, okay, it sucks that, like, our creators had to go and, like, but, like, they were hurting the planet. It's another thing to see them having this beautiful, like, society where, like, they were, like, in nearly perfect harmony with each other, but also, like, you still... It's, like, such a horrific way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really fucked up. They should have given these people a chance. But no, they just said, no, we're fucking pulling this shit out of the sky. Bye!
The funniest thing is in the lore, it's like the Eidolons decreed that like the people of Artifice had to learn a lesson. The Fae of Rioja were like, hey guys, listen, we'll take care of it for you. We just want a little bit of land, real estate in the material plane. And they're like, all right. And then the felling happened.
You.
So
wait, was it the Fae who fucking did it?
yes, but when you like, if you hire a hitman, do you like find the hitman it's themselves guilty or the one that hired them guilty? Obviously, you do both, but like, which one is more culpable?
It's both. Yeah.
The person that hired the hitman is more culpable than the hitman. You know?
I don't.
Yeah.
Man.
Damn. Broke ass cake right here.
God damn it! I'm gonna hate that I'm going to say this next, but
Oh god.
Oh boy.
just going back to everything that's happened and like going back to so obviously Seeker is going to be like, I need time to think about this.
Of course, I
And
understand.
just kind of is like, I think I'm done learning for tonight.
Of
But
course.
then will oh, I wanted to ask this before this, but it doesn't make any sense anymore just because like he's kind of in shock.
Yeah.
Because I guess if we could go back a little bit to when he said other Steelforged have been on here, he kind of wonder who these other Steelforged was, who these other Steelforged were, and like perhaps what city they came from. I don't know if that would have been answered, but
He would say, if you had asked that earlier, he would have said, my apologies, but I promise not to say anything on their behalf. They requested
that makes sense.
an anonymity. Anonymity? Fuck, I don't know how to say that word.
Anonymity.
Yeah.
I feel like Hono would also request that. He's like, well, if everyone else is doing it, might as well.
Of course.
Okay, well, now going back to the present, Hono would actually kind of request to perhaps cut the communication, but would be willing to communicate again.
Very well.
Which is why I hate that I have to say that.
I will see
I'm
you
leaving
later.
the temptation.
I will see you later, Seeker of Knowledge. And suddenly you're back in your room, and the little spider drone, withdraws the cable and skitters out the window.
And I think Hono will just kind of sit on the bed. I feel like he should put his mask back on. So no one comes in and goes, "You're a fucking robot!"
Meet more.
Oh, but he's also kind of just in a state.
Yeah.
I think he eventually puts it back on, but then spends the rest of the night just staring at the bed.
Poor guy.
I just witnessed millions of deaths! I'm having a great time!
Yeah.
I do think he'd want to talk to Kairos, but I feel like he has to process this, and I also don't want to take up this entire session. So I think I'm done there. Honey needs to do something fun.
Yeah. But yeah.
In all honesty, I am like falling asleep.
Oh,
Not because you guys are bored, because I'm exhausted from yesterday.
that's
Completely
fair.
valid. Moving sucks.
That's fair. You good to keep going, or you guys want to call it here?
I'm fine either way.
I'm fine with keeping going, but if Hero's getting a little sleepy, we could probably stop soon. So, or stop now, I don't know.
I probably have to duck out, but you guys are free to keep going, because I'll just watch the pod.
Well, if it's just
If
two
that's
of
the
us,
case.
yeah. If it's just the two of us,
Yeah.
we'll end it. We'll end it here, or 2 players. We'll end it here.
Yeah.
So that was a good
It
session.
might be good for the... It would be good for the others to come if we're still
Yeah.
here in the spot, so they can ask their questions if they want.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
probably smart.
Yeah.
Before we move on.
Yeah, we could just say
Yeah.
Cassandra and Nova were a little wore out and didn't have time to do questions. But yeah,
Perhaps in the morning they'll be able to ask questions. and
so
everything like that.
any questions, comments, critiques? Would a yell? Would a scream about session?
Ah.
Ah!
I love this.
I'm glad to have met my uncle.
You met your uncle
Oh.
and your cousin.
And they're rightfully horrified by everything I've been through.
So glad I got
honestly-
traumatized.
Yeah.
I honestly really love just Honey still being in the corner, because it's almost like something's gonna happen. So it's gonna happen, but I'm just gotta wait my turn. So just quietly in the background having her bad moment.
Yeah.
God.
Well,
I
who
do
knows?
love. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I do love the fact that Honey and Hono were just sitting there having a little conversation about vocabulary.
Just like,
Yeah.
what's that word mean? They keep saying that word. What the fuck does that mean? Big ass word.
What was the word in question?
Reconstruction.
Reconstituted.
That's worse. You have absolutely no idea.
Oh yeah,
You were like-
reconstituted.
You were like, what? What's that? Because when you were visiting your uncle, they were
Yeah.
reading through her little book. Her little learn how to read book.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah. Also, I know that was it last session when y'all were like, "Yeah, Hono could be the teacher," and I'm just sitting here like, they were technically made by a teacher robot. Their parent is a teacher.
To be fair, as a teacher's kid who's going to be a teacher and has been a tutor for their whole life, that is 100% lore accurate to any teacher's kid in life ever.
There's a reason why he's called Seeker of Knowledge. Also, did I just roll? Huh. I rolled 3 d20s just for fun, and I rolled 2 7s and a 14. That's
Damn.
interesting. Anyway.
That's a lot of 7s.
This was a fun session.
Wasn't it though?
Hell yeah.
So much happened in so little time.
I can't wait to go tattle on the gardener. Also, I have to probably keep all of this close to my chest, or I have to fully tell you guys what's going on. So I have to make a decision.
You sure do.
But
to be fair, you could probably tell Honey everything, and she still have no idea what the fuck you were talking about.
I might have to confirm what I'm doing after I talk to many voices. If it's okay to out myself to the group, or if I should keep hidden, because, oh boy! I might need help to sway myself from temptation. Y'all...
We would
It's
help.
like it's VeggieTales all over again.
I am
Oh,
so glad that you
no.
liked it.
I can't believe
crafted this
you
motherfucker.
threw...
No,
Sorry, continue what you're saying.
No, you go first.
I was just saying, I can't believe you threw this fucking very suave, knowledgeable, non-judgmental, 10-foot-tall, four-armed robot man with me, and he's just fucking handing me the apple and the pomegranate and be like, hey, you like it? You like it? You like it?
He's basically making you a pie. He's basically making you fucking pie. Like, listen. Look at all this I got.
Yeah, pretty much. Here's the thing. Hono is very loyal to his city, to many voices, and all of the people in his city.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as he likes you guys, he would probably do more for his people than y'all. We're not to that point yet. He's only known you for 5 days or so.
Yeah.
However, he does realize the fact that the Gardener is working with the Solar Legion is a bad thing for this party. But apparently he likes that we're a nuisance. So, like, we have gotten the okay from the possible BBEG to be a nuisance to his working partner, because he's planning on killing them off anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You get the sense that he wants to keep Eidolons and Elder Myths from controlling Walira.
He said, "Be gone. We don't need any of this." How's he feel about Great Spirits?
Or
Glory
Spirit.
He seems to be okay with spirits because he mentions Kairos, and while he seems to be, based on what your vibe was, he seems to like Kairos despite like their differences, even though Kairos is a great spirit now.
Yeah.
So he doesn't seem to have a problem with spirits, or even Kairos himself. He just seems to... It seems to almost be like a fucking Professor X Magneto situation.
But what's his feelings on the Fae? That's the interesting question.
I mean... Take a fucking guess.
I didn't ask.
I mean, I can guess. I'm just curious.
He may have more issue with the person who hired the hitman, but the hitman's still on the fucking list.
Yeah, like, the hitman, it's just like, I'm getting to you. I'm gonna get to you. But first I want to kill this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. But
oh boy!
I crafted this motherfucker in a laboratory to be your perfect foil.
You bastard!
I don't know if Lotus has a foil yet that we've met.
I mean, you have like...
I think it's the dark... Yeah, you have like 3 foils.
Yeah.
So many aluminum foil.
You
got the Dark Star, you got Oleander, you got an enemy. You got all of the good foils. You roll them up together and it's just a whole bunch of trauma.
A foil blunt.
You got the 3-pack, I got the 1-pack.
You got the scary man.
You got the 1-pack that's a lot more detailed than the other 2 right now. Let's face it, it's less that they're detailed, it's more that this one was crafted specifically to fuck with you more.
Yeah.
You bastard.
I think it's funny.
Obviously, like, Oleander and an enemy are going to fuck with Lotus by virtue of being his siblings. This guy had to, like, be, like, the perfect person to, like, tempt you.
Yeah. I think it's funny.
I had fun, guys, but I gotta go take a nap.
You go
Have a
take your
good
nap.
one.
Take your nap. I'm gonna start recording now.
I'm gonna go take